yourself, Mr. Dick. Tell me a little bit about yourself and your career as a broadcaster.
Okay, I am Dick Cox, and I am the owner slash sports director, president of Cox Sports Broadcasting. I was a college and high school coach for 27 years, and when I gave the coaching end of it up, was going to miss the game, and I had some people give me the opportunity at USC Upstate to become the voice of the Spartans. And through doing that, got involved in doing a lot of broadcasting, which led to me actually starting my own company now. We work with a lot of the colleges, we work with the pro teams, we work with the high schools, and again, living a sports lover's dream right now.
All right, I admire that very much. All right, today I want to talk to you about the tragic death of Dale Earnhardt Sr. in 2001. He was only 49 years old when he died. From us previous speaking about it, you said that you were actually at the race whenever it happened, and you also broadcasted it later on. How did his tragic death affect you as in your job as a broadcaster?
Well, it was big, Dallas, from the standpoint, I guess, when I was little, my fantasy was always to be a NASCAR driver. A lot of people don't know that, though, but sometimes if they've ever driven on the highway, maybe they'll know that, they'll see that, though. But I've always enjoyed NASCAR and been a big fan of NASCAR. The accident with Dale Earnhardt Jr., which at that time he was the sport's most popular driver and all, had a huge impact because when the accident happened, they really didn't say a whole lot about it. The stage of what was going on, it was the final lap at Daytona. The two cars that he owned were running 1 and 2, and he actually put a block on another car, which helped Michael Waltrip, driving one of Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s cars, win the race, along with Dale Earnhardt Jr. came in second. And he went into the wall. And you saw the two of them fighting for the win, and it really didn't show what was going on, but you knew that something, you had a gut feeling something was wrong because they didn't really show him get out of the car after the accident, which they do. And CBS kind of shifted away and went to victory lane and never would really comment, though. But, so it was kind of a strange afternoon. And then they kept saying that he'd been taken to the hospital with no reports. And later they came back about an hour later and shared that he had died in the accident that took place that day. And that was a big shock to everybody because you think that, the guy was the intimidator, that he was bigger than the sport itself, and that the sport had actually taken down the leader or the intimidator for NASCAR.
And as a broadcaster, that affected your job? Did you have to change any plans for the day of rescheduling what you chose to speak about as a broadcaster?
Well, it added to a lot of people with sports talk shows like we do, people that were true Earnhardt fans that really were emotional about it. And it kind of was more or less not really us talking and saying a whole lot, but it's just giving a lot of people the opportunity to get it off their chest how they felt, that their emotions, because it was like to them, even though a lot of them had never met Dale Earnhardt Sr. before, it's like they had lost a member of their family. They had the Earnhardt t-shirts, they had the paraphernalia, they had watched him in the races, but it was like they had lost a member of their family too. And I mean, all the way up to the garages up in North Carolina, in Concord, the area that he lived in, that they had, the candlelight vigils, they had everything going on there to honor him. And, it really set a lot of things, precedents with NASCAR. A lot of changes came about NASCAR after that accident.
For sure. You had mentioned earlier about Earnhardt was blocking for his son, the number 8 car, and Michael Waltrip, number 15, whenever the accident happened. The fact that one of the drivers he was blocking for was his son, that kind of portrays a father-son bond. How do you think that affected their fans? What do you think they thought about that?
It's big because the standpoint that, the Earnhardt name in racing, even after Dale Sr. died, Dale Jr. is not and never will be the driver that his father is, but, everybody wants him to be and carry on that legacy and all. And, for him to do what he did, it was kind of a risky move, and Kim Schrader was the person he got tangled up with, and it was not either one of their fault. It was just that he kind of made a move and tried to come up on Schrader, gave Schrader no room, and the two of them collided, and he went in the wall, though. But it just kind of showed, sometimes what a father will do for his son to try to help him be successful. And, the guy who really had to feel bad on that, too, was Michael Waltrip, that he wins his first race ever in NASCAR, and then it's kind of overshadowed by the death of his car owner, Dale Earnhardt Sr.
Yes. Since the accident has happened, NASCAR has made a lot of safety improvements with their stock cars, including the car of tomorrow, which a few drivers are driving now, with the escape latches on top of the cars, and also they've improved the barriers at all oval tracks. Do you think this his tragic death could have a positive effect on future NASCAR racers?
I do, and I think they've even went to something else called a Hans device, where they strap it on to keep your neck, because actually I think what took place in his accident was a broken neck from impact when he hit and came back though. But you know, you'd had other people, you'd had Richard Petty's grandson who had died, another huge name in racing, Kyle Petty's son, who had been in an accident and died, and some other guys. And when this happened to the star, the elite star, I think NASCAR started to take note, saying, you know, maybe we need to take a closer look at this. And you've got the, you know, the safer barrier walls, which now have prevented some more of these tragic accidents, along with the things you're doing. And I think it's made NASCAR now a whole lot safer that you have not seen. There's been a few, you know, accidents that have been pretty bad since then, but nowhere near what they had though. But I think it was an eye-opening time for NASCAR that changes had to be made, you know, to protect the drivers for the future. You know, if they wanted to continue to have the legacy that NASCAR had over the years.
I took a mental note of whenever you said that Dale Earnhardt has become a legacy in history. What is it, do you think, that made him such a legacy in history today?
Well, the big thing with him was that he came from nothing. That his father, Ralph Earnhardt, was a racer who was a guy, Saturday night guy, who worked really hard in the shop. Dale Earnhardt Jr. came from a very poor background, did not have a lot of money and all. And he's one of those blue-collar guys that kind of worked his way up, went through his tough times growing up, pleasing his father, being a racer, doing the things, struggling financially to have the money to be able to do it. And then to be able to win like he did. And again, he's one of those guys that a lot of people pull for. That he was not always a popular guy because he put you in the wall to win. There's a lot of people didn't like that would get angry with him though, but he put that chrome bumper to you. He'd do whatever it took to win races. And you had to respect his competitive like that though. But there were a lot of drivers out there that really didn't like to race against him because he would wipe you out. And there were times fans would boo him, that they didn't think that, you know, he was a little bit over aggressive or wrecked people who had better stuff than him, but he would do whatever it took to win though. But he's kind of a legend right there, that he came from nothing and made himself into the elite star of the sport.
I agree. All right, and we're drawing an end to this interview, but I want to ask you one last question.
Okay.
Your name is Mr. Dick Cox,
right.
And I was just wondering, how exactly did you get your name?
It's been a lot of fun with my name, and you can imagine like that, being in sports and all of that though, but it's kind of a name handed down. My name's actually Richard. That it was, my parents came down, it was between Richard or Raymond. And you know how sometimes names get shortened and all like that though. But, and I know you've asked me off the record, does it ever bother you? No. I mean, when you look like I do, you don't have hair like I do right now too, you just kind of roll with the punches though. If you ever let anything get you down, you know, that will, people know in sports, if they can take your mind off things or they can upset you, that's half the game. So in sports, you just got to roll with the punches, you got to keep going.
And there's nothing wrong with your hair. It's gorgeous.
Well, I told people I teased my hair and it couldn't take a joke. So I've got a lot of stories on that.
All right, well, it was great talking with you, Mr. Dick Cox. Thank you for taking the time to interview me.
Well, I appreciate your time.
Right.
Feel free to come back and join us anytime here at Cox Sports Broadcast.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.